This episode, I go for a run, for a bike ride.
I have flashbacks.
Even after the recent blog about motivation to travel and spending a great deal of time thinking about why I travel, I thought I had it all worked out. For the first hour of the drive here, I could have easily turned around and gone home. I had to force myself a little bit to actually come out. But then, chasing the sunset, and it was so worth it. It still wasn't the sunset that I'm hoping for. That is to come, so keep watching. This is the plan B trip from On Point when I went to the east coast to Castle Point. If you haven't seen that, there's a link down in the description. There's one thing I've reminded myself about this trip is I'll make more money. I'll never make more time. Leave that beautiful sunrise behind and get on the road. So it's pretty cold. My gas bottles didn't really want to work for my coffee, and my porridge went cold as quick as I made it, so it was time to leave. By the time I get to where I'm going, the sun should be up and still have no warmth in it because it's winter. It's the Stony River Walkway. Never done it, been past it hundreds of times, like a lot of these things. Of course, where there's people, there's rubbish. So according to Garmin, we're very near the end of the track where I stopped at the paddock. Would have gone to the end of that paddock, so I didn't miss much. Well, that was unexpected, but pretty awesome. Achievement unlocked. Sub 1 hour to Puakai Hut. come back to that in a minute. Somewhere else to go first. And that's how quickly Mount Taranaki clouds over and comes back again. It's about 5 minutes. The town is indeed frozen right in front of me. Now, if you've seen Running Down a Dream 2, there was a mountain there. So Walkway Hut, it's about a 2.5 hour walk, and it's about 10 to 15 minutes to the town, which is a good little side trip. So that is Walkway Hut. Notice that I do a lot of trips where I just do small, really accessible stuff. I love a good multi-day adventure like through the hills, or even a weekend bikepacking trip like last winter's bikepacking the Walkway River Road. But the reality is, those bigger adventures and the weekend bikepacking trips from home take a lot more logistics, a lot more mental preparation, and a lot more recovery time, and sometimes life just doesn't allow that. Getting out for these little short adventures, a morning, an afternoon, a couple of things in a day, and just camping, cooking an easy meal beside the sea, catching a sunset, is all about getting outdoors for the sake of your mental health. That bit of clarity. Get out and do it. It doesn't have to be epic. So get out there, enjoy it. Don smokes at lunch. Pretty sweet spot to make lunch, but it's not a good spot to camp. New Plymouth District Council is not freedom camper friendly, so I don't think it'll be freedom camping tonight. I don't even know that I'm going to risk stealth camping, but check out the view. Coastal Walkway is pretty famous. It's not really what I've come for. The Tianui Walkway follows the Tianui stream. It's a really good way to get away from the grey of river rocks and concrete, and also for the people. It's a whole lot more green and a whole lot quieter. It can be made into a loop. So at this point, it's worth pointing out that I don't do heights very well. So this is Paratutu Rock. Spectacular view, very steep climb up, but I think it should be worth it for the sunset. As luck would have it, there's a band of rain coming in behind me, so I'm hoping that doesn't amount to much. Well, that'll suck. 35 minutes to sunset. I may call it and head down. Back on to plan B, C, D, whatever plan it takes before I run out of time to actually get a sunset. I'll update you soon. BMW was once a symbol of status and class. Now it's not. I may now feel slightly hypocritical with my camera set up on the bottom of the LandRover, but LandRover's made for this shit. Well, that was not the sunset that I was hoping for. It was the sunset I was hoping for, but it wasn't as spectacular as I thought it should be. Can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. Morning. So, I'm out at Ratapahipati Reserve, which is a short 45-minute walk, apparently, down to a waterfall, but through a massive amount of Nico, which probably the most I've ever seen. So far seems to be a bit of birdsong, which is fantastic, so let's get on and enjoy it. So that's one of my favourite scenic reserves yet. Right up there with the one in Rangawahia, the name escapes me. Very green, a couple of waterfalls, some good bird life, and seeing Keteru and fantail.
could hear some other distressed birds in the distance. You can also hear a harrier hawk. Definitely recommend checking it out if you're in New Plymouth. It's starting to rain, so time for some quick housekeeping and then back on the road. This is Lake Rata-Pico, in the back of Tarata in Taranaki, and a few people ask me how I find these things. This one is I were trying to find Lake Roto-Pico, which is one of the peat lakes in the Waikato. Coincidentally, I found this that I didn't know was here, and it's quite spectacular and very peaceful. So for all you tunnel geeks, after through the hills, I decided that I needed to come and find this tunnel. Up here in the trees is the entrance to what is known as Grayling's Tunnel. That is Grayling's Stock Tunnel, which I've just found out from one of the local farmers is actually the original Tarata Road tunnel. So we're on Tarata Road at the moment. It has become inaccessible with the road realignment, and attempts have been made to block it off because it leads to private land. Well, Sim have made such an effort to get here, I may as well make the most of it. Especially Sim, Google Maps took me on about a 20-kilometre detour from Lake Roto-Pico. That was uncalled for, but I guess Google has shares in BP. Screw you, Google. And so we're going to wrap up this episode right about here. Plenty more adventures to come.